Hello, and in this RNG Battles video, this will be a part 2 to does the 5% damage bonus from giant weapons actually matter? Short answer is yes, but by how much? And in this video, we'll be talking about Bob, which normally does 100 damage and can one-shot someone without armor, but with the 5% bonus, it does 105. I'll essentially be talking about how much one hit can do, 2 hits, 1 crit, 1 hit, 1 normal hit, 1 crit, 2 crits, 3 crits, 4 normal hits, 3 normal hits, with each of the 5% and without the 5%. The math is a little confusing on some of it, mainly because there's points, like 0.2 on certain hits, but the 0.2 doesn't do much, but if it's a 0.5 it can do a lot. I don't know. Moving on, just to base damage, we have 100. So that can kill anyone who's not wearing any armor. But you most likely won't see anyone wearing no armor because the tutorial literally gives you an armor. It forces you to roll an armor and it automatically puts the armor on you. If you get the 5% damage boost, it gives you 105. You cannot one-shot any armor with that. So it doesn't change too much. Moving on to the crit. For the crit on this base is 150, so you can one-shot a construction armor. Adding to the 5%, which is 1 hit, it's 157, which, yet again, can't one-shot anything higher, so still construction. So far it's pretty normal. Doesn't really give anything for the first hit, for crit or base. Moving on to 2 hits though, 2 hits this normally would do 200 damage a Bob. So you can two-shot a participable board user. Now moving on to if you had 105 with 2 hits, you can actually two-shot the Beekeeper. That is a pretty big jump, because that's literally the next armor in line. And that can be pretty useful. Moving on to 2 crits, or actually 1 hit and 1 crit. For normal it'd be up to 250, so 1 hit and 1 crit, and you can two-shot the Apocalypse. Doing 1 hit and 1 crit with the 105 plus the 157 is 262 damage roughly, which I actually just barely can't one-shot or two-shot the Leprechaun, so it is not much bad. I don't think there's a 160 armor in the game, don't quote me on that, but it cannot go up to the Firefighter. It would be 8 damage off. It can almost do the Leprechaun, but it'd be point something damage, like 0.3 damage off, which is kind of sad. So for the 1 hit and 1 crit, it does not change it. Moving on to this double crits for both. Now double crits for both, for Bob it would do about 300 damage, and for double crit on the other one it does about 315. So alright, 300 damage. You can two-shot the Knight with double crit with just the base of Bob. You'd be able to two-shot the Knight. But with the 5% damage boost and double crit, you can actually two-shot the Reaper. It is worse than Jug. Bob is. By how much, I'll explain in a different video. But it is pretty close, and it's a lot cheaper to get. But it can two-shot Reaper, which is pretty nice to be able to 2-crit Reaper. That is pretty good. Compared to, let's say, RPG, for example. RPG can 2-crit anything. How much can it want? Can 2-crit Beekeeper. That's the best it can do is 2-crit Beekeeper. But moving on from that, let's do 2 crits and then, well, anything with 2 crits and then 1 normal hit will kill anything. Because that's 300 damage and then 100, that's 400, which is the hardest armor to kill, plus your normal health is 400. So 2 crits and 1 hit will kill anything. But overall, is the 5% damage worth it for Bob? No. I don't think it is. I mean, if you want to use it, it is. If you're going to grind with it, yes. But does it matter for like a 1v1? No, it just doesn't. It doesn't matter. For the Jug, it does matter. Especially if someone's using a secret and or Doodle Henry. It can definitely matter. Because you can actually 3-tap a Doodle Henry. And you can actually Is it 2-tap? No, it's 3-tap this as well. But it can 3-tap this when Bob can't. Well, unless you get double crit. You can, but other than that, you can't. For Jug, it takes only 2. If you have the 5%, it only takes 3 hits with 1 crit. For Bob, you need 2 crits in 1 hit. So the 5% does matter for the Jug. It doesn't matter if you're grinding, it does matter. The 5% damage for this one. Like I said, it goes from Knight. You can two-shot crit the Knight. Or with normal, 5% would be able to do Reaper. Same thing with 2 normal hits. Base would be Participable Board, and then base would be Beekeeper. Other than that, like I said, 1 crit and 1 hit doesn't change anything for anything else. Overall, if you're gonna grind, it's definitely worth it. If you're not, and you're just doing some 1v1s, you're just playing for fun, you just want to use any weapon you want, it is really not that big of a deal for this weapon. You probably won't even notice it unless, like I said, you're grinding thousands of kills, which I have done. I don't want to talk about it. It took me hours, many hundreds of hours of my life. And I hope you enjoyed this video. Overall, I'd say it's not worth it for Bob unless you're a serious grinder who's grinding many and many kills. I hope you enjoyed this video. It's a bit shorter than the last one, because the last one, it did make a big difference. And this one, not so much. But it is still worth it overall. I mean, if you don't like using the giant weapons, then it's not. Just don't do it. Nothing will truly change all too much, except, like I said, you can 2-shot Beekeeper. And then double crit can kill Reaper. Other than that, there's no significant changes with the 5%. Overall, it's just not really worth it. And yeah, that is this video. Actually, did I do? Yeah, I did. Alright, anyway. Hope you like this video. Like and subscribe, and peace out.